Hello, Coach Shaun. I'm Peter from Basketball Network. I'm really glad to have you here. You've been working with the Brooklyn Nets as an assistant with the G League affiliate of Brooklyn Nets, now with the Los Angeles Clippers. And what is the main difference between coaching the G Leaguers, G League players, and the NBA stars, elites, the best of the best?
Uh, just in the G League, you're dealing with guys that are trying to break through and be a mainstay in the NBA, and really trying to develop them into the player that they want to become. You still do that in the NBA level with the young guys that are there, but the guys that are the superstars or have been in the league for a long time, not as much. You still get on the court with them and try to help them improve their game as much as you can. But they pretty much already established themselves in the league. So doing the G League and working with the young guys, you get to see a lot of improvement, which is great for a coach.
Yeah. And what they say, like for those players who make it from G League to the NBA, what was the main, how should I say, maybe the reason behind it? What was the main intangible that those players have to take it to the next level? And also you can kind of circle back to this Treviso experience from Adidas. What are the things you try to teach, to implement to those young guys who are trying to make it to the next level? Maybe not to the NBA, but just for being the professional.
Yeah, I think the main thing for young guys to understand is when they first come to the NBA and they're rookies or they're trying to make the NBA is look at the team and see what can I do to impact winning. Is it defensively? Is it picking up full court? Just making an imprint on the game that's going to help teams win games. A lot of young guys think I got to score, I got to score, I got to score. Well, we already have three guys that do that, so probably not what you need to focus on. So I think that's the biggest thing for the young players coming in is, hey, where can I impact winning? And most of the time that's going to be, hey, I can impact on the defensive end. If I can guard multiple positions and put my imprint on the floor on that side, they're going to have a chance to get some ends.
Yeah, that's great. You played also professionally in France, if I'm not mistaken. How did that experience of playing international basketball, international way of basketball, so to speak, influence your coaching style, or do you try to implement some of the things that you learned overseas to the things you teach in the NBA?
Yeah, for sure. International basketball is different than definitely from the NBA. The NCAA is kind of similar, but just the way offense moves in Europe, and the ball moves side to side and share the ball, as opposed to a lot of stuff in the NBA. Even now, like isolation. Although we're getting more away from that, but you see it more in the playoffs now. So just that way of thinking, and how can we get guys open in different situations by moving the basketball, making the defense move, and playing off of closeouts. I think you see a lot more teams around the NBA doing that with forcing closeouts and driving back into the paint and creating multiple situations where you're putting the defense in a bad spot.
Yeah, I mean, we can see like the last four MVP winners for our internationals, so we can see the culture that is like broadening to more of an international game. But we've spoken a little bit about your experiences, like trying to teach those younger guys. But is there something that you see here that maybe you can translate to the Los Angeles Clippers as well?
That's a
kind of vice versa.
Yeah.
Do you see something that okay, yeah, so we can maybe work on that in the big boys league in the NBA?
Yeah, I think so. I think the best thing about this camp is you get to see some of the young players that you wouldn't normally see. During the NBA season, you're wrapped up in what you're doing and not really seeing what's going on in college or in overseas. And then you get to see guys that you see during the year as coaches that you don't really get to catch up with. So when you're here, you get to talk, bounce ideas off of each other, and say, "Oh, I didn't think of that." Different drills that they do with their team that you can implement back with your team, like Clippers, for example. And I think it's the best thing is just talking with other coaches and getting ideas from different guys.
Yeah, that's perfect. And for the last question, one message that you have for every aspiring bowler?
Just never miss out on an opportunity. Like, you never know who's watching. could be in an open gym somewhere, and some random coach could be in there, or a scout could be in there. So take advantage of every opportunity that you have when you get on the court. Make sure you're competing on every possession and playing the right way.
Perfect. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, coach.